Hi, I'm Pam Damour. I hope you've enjoyed making the first few steps of this wonderful buttonhole pillow that we're making. We're almost done, so I want to show you how to do the finishing touches. So far we had made the front, we made the back. Now I've trimmed them to size, and I've arced the corners using the Ultimate Pillow template. So we're ready to sew the whole thing together. And we're going to sew it all the way around. We don't need to leave an opening to turn it because we have our zipper right here. So we don't need to leave anything for opening. And I'm using the piping foot. And I'm just going to put my foot down here, and I'm going to sew my foot control a little closer here. I'm going to move my needle over just a little bit. Just a little closer. Just want to move it so that it's like just slightly to the left of the other stitching line where I've sewn my piping. So this is my zipper plaque on my back. This is my front with my piping. Now you'll sometimes find that my instructions might be a little different than what you'd find in a book or on YouTube, but that's because I have been in the decorating industry for over 30 years, and so I use industry standards in making my projects. I use half-inch seam allowances always. I always use a good cord and good zippers, and I use methods that are used by the drapery workrooms because that's how I learned. You always want to pull your pins out. You never want to sew over your pins, do you, folks? It's a big no-no in sewing. Very bad for your machine, also bad for you, because if the needle hits a pin and breaks it and shoots it in your eye, you will not be a happy camper. If you have trouble with pins, these Wonder Clips work great. They're by Clover. Strongly recommend them. I use those here along the bottom of the zipper because it was a little harder to pin. Okay, the slide is right here. I just want to make sure that the tab's just pushed out of the way here so I can sew by that. And you know what? It's kind of pushing against here, so I'm just going to move it back there. Flip it back there. See, it's right there. I'm just going to flip it back out of my way here. I don't know if you can see it with my hand, but I'm just pushing it to the back there. And we're almost done. Once we get all the way to the end, we're going to cut our thread. And we're going to trim our corners. And I'm going to show you a little magic trick. Now, the secret to doing a professionally executed pillow is, again, trimming the dog ears so that it doesn't look, so it looks square. But you also want those corners to be filled. So I keep losing this little piece of batting. I have a little piece of batting here. I'm going to cut it in half. Then I'm going to cut it and die. Well, I'm going to basically cut it so it's more like 2 squares here. Just trim that off. And then I'm going to trim diagonally, so I have 4 triangles. Okay, this is a upholstery weight Dacron. You could use quilt batting and double it or whatever. You just want to use something that's going to have good fill. I'm going to line that right up in the corner, and I'm going to sew it. And I'm going to sew it in all 4 corners. That way, when I turn my pillow right side out, if I'm using a pillow form or stuffing that doesn't quite go into the corners, my corners of my pillow are always nice and full. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's just going to be stuck in the corner there. And I'll just toss them back here somewhere. Go out here. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, she didn't leave an opening in that zipper. How's she going to open it? Well, my zippers are designed to do this. I just open it up with my finger, slide it over, turn it right side out. Now if you're going to stuff your pillow, this is a 14 by 20 pillow, which is sort of a standard rectangular size. Or you could use loose stuffing. And so I'm going to stuff it with some loose stuffing here. You could make a pillow form too if you'd like. The stuffing that I use is one that we carry. Isn't that going to be lovely? Look how cute that is. So the stuffing I'm going to use is called Pam's Perfect Puffin Stuff. Now I didn't name that. That's what my staff named it. But this is amazing stuffing. For one thing, it never clumps. It never lumps up. And you can use it over and over again. I can throw this whole pillow in the washing machine, stuffing it all, and it won't mat down. It's great for stuffed animals, dog beds, anything that's unusually shaped, or if you want something hypoallergenic because you can't have down, because it does feel like down when it's in there in your project. Yeah, I'm going to zip this up just a little bit so I can get my hand in and stuff it a little more. I'm going to stuff it up. We'll probably use the better part of a whole bag here. Maybe not quite, but 3/4. Oh, iron's still on. Good. Just got another handful here. I just want to make sure it's all pushed evenly. And I'm going to take to the iron and give it a good steaming. Poke that corner out where the piping is. And that zipper slide's going to just be right at that corner. So now the zipper is really at the bottom edge, even though you didn't put it in the bottom, it's at the bottom. And you can see, because we trimmed the dog ears, the edges are nice and straight. There's no scooping up. Let's bring it over to the iron and give it a steaming. Just need to pull this out. Let me play with this just a little bit here in this corner. The nice thing about this stuffing, it molds nicely. And now we have a gorgeous Chain of Love pillow done entirely on my Destiny tube. I'm Pam Damour. I hope you've enjoyed making this project with me, and stick around because a lot of other great teachers are going to be coming along following me, showing you lots of great projects. You're going to learn how to do so much stuff with your Destiny too. You're going to love it. Thank you for joining me, and keep on sewing.